Hey folks, welcome back to the Beer Wrench Garage, and if it's your first time, welcome to the Beer Wrench Garage. This is a place where we talk about car things and tools and turning wrenches, and well, we do that while I drink. Today I'm drinking Tito's and grapefruit. Typically it's beer. Sometimes I go on different little streaks of Tito's or beer. Today is Tito's. Anyway, I want to give you a quick little video here, give you a little bit of lesson learned the hard way, right? So you guys can learn a little bit from my, one, my stupidity, and two, my experience. So I almost destroyed my automatic transmission in the red project car that I was working on. It was a long ordeal. Had pulled the engine out a couple of times and rebuilt it, and had an issue with the transmission, replaced the transmission, put in a different transmission, took the transmission out, put a different transmission oil pump in. Anyway, long story short, I'd gotten almost done with the whole thing. I had the car up on jack stands, and I was using the, I had the car up on wood blocks and jack stands, and I was using the floor jack to actually lower it for the final time to get the car ready to drive. I was using the floor jack under the subframe, but with a block of wood between the subframe and the floor jack, and it got to a certain angle of elevation where the wood kind of slipped out from under the floor jack or under the subframe, and the floor jack went forward on the subframe and dented the transmission oil pan. And so this is the video I'm referring to in my video, my junkyard video, junkyard adventures at the junkyard 2, and leave a link up here or here for that video. So go ahead and check that video out. That was the adventure I had to go on at the junkyard because of my stupidity in denting the pan. Anyway, so what happened is when I dented the pan, I was like, wow, I just dented the automatic transmission pan, probably be okay. Lower the car, started up, sounded great, shifted in the gear, went down a couple blocks, a few miles to get some gas. And I was driving it. I was like, well, it's not shifting as crisp as I think it should. It's a little bit sluggish. And then I got gas, filled it up, turned the car back on, and got a check engine light. Came back home, and again, the car was just not shifting out of third gear and getting the check engine light. Transmission wasn't acting right. I looked up the code. I believe it was P2076 or 2706, something like that. It was like a torque converter code. And I was like, oh God, what's going on? And well, long story short, turns out after doing some research, especially on these Audi transmissions, the ones on these B7, the 2006 to 2008 Audis, the automatic transmissions, the 6-speed Tiptronics are made by ZF. They're 6 HP 19As by ZF. Audi uses them, BMW I think uses them. They're a couple of different models of car, but definitely used in the Audis. Anyway, turns out that when I dented the oil pan, I smashed up the transmission filter, and as you can see the intake right there, it looks like a two lips that are just closed, right? This is how a normal one should look. This is where the fluid in the transmission filter goes in and then goes up through here through the transmission. This is the one that got smashed up. And so when the filter is dented up like this, it cannot obviously provide fluid or oil pressure to the transmission, and the transmission is not going to work correctly. If you drive on that too long, you're essentially going to starve the transmission of oil and kill it. Luckily, I had enough sense to come right back, do some research, and on this end, I really have to give a big thanks to Gary Ferraro at AAA or 1 AAA transmission in New York. If you just if you search Gary Ferraro, you'll see his videos. I also put a link in the description here. He actually did a video kind of explaining this, and Audi has a TSP on it for even when regularly, if the filter gets clogged, the transmission will have issues shifting. But in my case, I'm an idiot, and I actually dented the pan and the filter. So that led to the whole ordeal of going to find another pan and getting a different filter. Luckily, after everything was said and done, was able to patch everything up and get a new pan, a new filter, and transmission working good, and the car has been sent out. We solved all the mechanical issues with the car, the low oil pressure and whatnot. Actually, I'm going to leave a link up here for that video, final video on verifying low oil pressure was gone, and we had appropriate oil pressure on that car. Anyway, just wanted to give you a quick video as to why I was traipsing around the junkyard at that time, and how my stupidity almost cost me a transmission. If you learned something or enjoyed this, please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.